Okay, let's just navigate around the platform so that we can get familiar and comfortable with where different things are located. The first thing to note is that this left-hand side quite often changes, so just be mindful of that. If you're seeing this in the future, then certain things might have moved their way around. So, first things to spot are the nice little search function, should you want to go and use this. So you could then just type in, for example, you wanted to add Google Analytics. Here we go, nice quick access there. But you could also press / on your keyboard, and then you can just pick that up nice and quickly. You can also edit this side menu. So here you can then toggle things on and off, but just note that this affects anybody else that's accessing the site. It's not just your own view. Then we have the ability to edit pages when we are inside of there, toggling between the desktop view and mobile view. And then should you want to close up this panel, you could then just do that. And then you can obviously get to it by clicking here or pressing escape on your keyboard. Site styles is a quick reference here, but also appears here. So working our way down, pages. This is where you then edit and build the site itself. Then you have got some quick access to these. Some of the website tools. This is where some of the code would live if you're putting that in there. And then some of the various different messaging for marketing stuff. And then should you have deleted things, that's where this appears. And then finally, this is the version of the site that you're on. So if you are on version 7.0, this will also tell you the template name that you are on. Sometimes useful if you're just referencing that. So then styles. This opens up this side panel. And this side panel shows you, this is where everything is for the global styles. Then this is your asset library, being able to just upload your content inside here. Then should you want to come and sell things, then this is your initial dashboard. And then should you have got things started, then this will just redraw itself and be able to give you some really useful information. And then obviously you can come into these various different areas here. Invoicing takes the similar approach as well. So initial landing page for here to do that. And same with your content and membership. So various different ways that you can do this. And there's some quick links and access to the help center should you want to go and do that. Finally, with donations, just some initial ideas for what you can go and do. And again, some quick references should you want to follow up. Scheduling. So the first time you click this is when you start the trial. So just be mindful of that. But then there's a whole heap of things inside of scheduling. Finance. This is obviously where you can then find all of the different payment side of things. So you can then gain access and information here. And there's various different settings. So into here, I can then do this. And then obviously once this happens, you can get some more information. Lots of different areas for the marketing side. So quick access into these, looking at email campaigns and being able to start with this, noting that this is then an added extra on top of your initial subscription. So that's where you'll spot this locked sign in various different places, including things like if you wanted the pop-up, then this starts on the business plan. So again, you'll just spot that. You can see and start using it, but then when it comes to actually launching the site, you'd then obviously have to use that plan to gain access to it. Contacts. So whether someone fills out a form, then the record would appear here, as well as if you have email campaigns and people sign up via the newsletter block. So both of those come into this space here as well. And then finally, analytics. So you've got a whole heap of information that will appear in this area. Finally, so we have settings, whole heap of things that you can come into, be able to then go and find things and just have a quick look around. So got lots of bits inside of there. Again, if you're not sure where things live, just come into the search and then be able to have a look, and it will then do a quick reference. And then finally, the help center to be able to then gain extra knowledge for really specific things that you're after. And then finally, that is your account and being able to then see that and be able to update your password and various different things like that. So that's a quick whistle-stop tour around. Hope that's been helpful for you to be able to find different things.